Hey everyone, I'm Boucher. Today I'm at Golf Galaxy to walk you through the new TaylorMade Qi10 metal wood lineup and kind of why I use each club. So in the 3-wood, I carry the Qi10 tour head. In the 7-wood, I use the Qi10 regular head. We're gonna hit some shots and kind of see why I use each club. All right, so we're gonna start with the 3-wood. The 3-wood's a super important club in my bag with just all the different shots I like to hit. I can crank the 3-wood down to a 2-wood. I can crank it up to a 4-wood. And I can also adjust the weight to kind of control some spin levels to hit a variety of different shots depending on the golf courses I'm playing. So right now I'm going to set it to the standard loft, hit some shots, and just got a baseline number of kind of when I would use this club. Okay, so something that is really important with me with a 3-wood is I struggle to hit a draw with a driver. So on golf courses that kind of force me off the tee to hit a little bit more of a draw shape, I like to have a 3-wood or a strong 3-wood that I can really turn one over. So that's something that's super important with me when I'm picking out a 3-wood that kind of fits my bag. So we're gonna hit a little draw here. This should kind of go anywhere around 280 would be the kind of goal to fit my bag. Okay, so that came out extremely nuclear. Carried 287, so that's pretty close to where I'd want it, but that's super important for me with a 3-wood. And I actually think I could get a little bit more out of this if I crank that weight forward. This weight track here, bottom of the club, is really useful for controlling different spin levels as well as launch windows. So as I said earlier, the adjustability on this head is extremely appealing to me. If I want to kill spin, we're going to move this weight track right to the forward. That's going to bring the CG forward in the head, which kills spin. So for you high spin golfers, getting that weight forward with your woods is going to be really important, especially if you're going to use a 3-wood off the tee and want a little bit more run. Obviously, when you're hitting a 3-wood into a green, you want it to launch a little higher and land softer. So that's when we would bring that weight right to the back of the club. That's going to raise the spin and have that ball land on the green nice and soft. Okay, so we have this set to the stock standard setting. It's a 15-degree head, weight right in the middle. So ideally, I'm kind of looking for just over 3,000 RPM of spin with this, probably about 260 in the air if I hit a good one. And then we're going to crank the loft down, get that weight forward, and see if we can get a little bit more out of it, just to show the different shots you can hit with this head. Okay, so that's kind of what the window I want for a stock 3-wood. 3,500 RPM of spin. It's going to come down, land pretty soft if I am coming into a green, but it also obviously 278 in the air is pretty long as well, so I could use it off the tee on those tighter par 4s. So we're going to crank that loft down now and get that weight all the way forward. By bringing that weight forward, gets the CG ahead in the club, killing all the spin. So this would be more of a 2-wood setting. Same head, we're just changing the settings. All right, so now we're at effectively a 13-degree head. So again, it's more of a 2-wood, weight all the way forward. I'd like to see that spin under 3,000 now. Should be a little lower flight and a little bit more carry with the less loft. Okay, so like I expected, 2,000 RPM of spin, lower launch, and it's also gonna roll out well. So on those tight par 4s, that's gonna be a club I can really use to replace the driver. This is why I love the TaylorMade Qi10 Tour 3-wood. You can use it as a 2-wood, you can crank it all the way up to a 4-wood. It gives me all the shots I like to hit in the golf course. Now let's dive into the 7-wood. Okay, 7-wood is probably my favorite club in the bag. I've had one in for the last few years now. I was super excited when they released the Qi10 in lefty this year in the 7-wood. So kind of go walk through why I use this club, for the different shots I like it for and the different yardages I use it from. I do have a pretty big gap from my 3-wood to 7-wood, but it's because I find this club is extremely easy to work both ways. I can crank the loft down and really turn it over and hit a draw, but I can also hit it super high, landing it soft in those kind of longer second shots into par 5s or long par 3s. So we're gonna hit a stock one here first, kind of give you a baseline number. I like to see about 240 in the air with this club on a stock one. Okay, so that was 249 in the air, nice high cut. Again, launch is something I find super important with woods. I think it's a huge benefit if you have a wood that you can get up in the air, especially for amateur golfers. Being able to hit it high in the air and not have it release when it hits a green. Generally speaking, you're never just gonna have irons into greens. So it is important to be able to launch a wood super high. So we're gonna hit a little draw here. This is gonna lower the flight. And this is why I really like this club and the 3-wood. I can kind of match the yardages I need in my bag. So we're gonna crank the loft down in this just by making a slight change to my setup. And we should get about probably 260 in the air if I catch a good one. Okay, so 263, rolled out to 282. So again, that's a great gapping between the 3-wood tour head and this head. And again, spin dropped a little bit. Now I would use this club again a lot coming into those par 5s where I need to land it soft or carry a hazard or a bunker. Really important to have that. And I just prefer it more than a long iron because it's just a little bit more forgiving coming from the rough, coming from those spots where maybe a longer iron would be more of a challenge to hit. So we're gonna set up here a little bit more open, try to launch this one super high, maybe carry it like 225 to 230. Okay, so 223 in the air. Again, launch way higher, spin close to 6,000. So we've doubled spin just by making a little change to setup, but it's the same head and it pretty much covered 3 different shots for me. So again, I'm pretty comfortable in using this club from a ton of different spots. I highly suggest getting to a Golf Galaxy, giving a 7-wood a shot. It's a club that not a lot of people even think about putting in their bag, but super important for me.